Hey, it's Don. Welcome to Don't Worry, I'm Finite. It's a snow day. Let's go out and play. Really should have worn gloves. So it's days like this that it's really easy to just stay inside. You know, when you're a kid and you see it snow, first of all, you know, we don't have school today. That's amazing. And then you just want to go outside. When you're an adult, you just go, hey, it's a snow day. I'm gonna put on some hot cocoa or some coffee, put my feet up, get a blanket on, and just enjoy staying inside. I don't have to go out today, but resist that urge. I'm out and it's great. And I mean, I had that urge this morning. I thought, okay, it's warm in here, it's nice. It looks cold out. It is cold out, but it's kind of magical being outside. I kind of forget how quiet things get during a snow. I love that everything kind of just gets muted and just calms down. And also there's so many fewer people out, you kind of have a place to yourself. And it's also one of those things where you're like, while it's snowing, while it's raining, whatever the weather is, you don't want to go out if you're a photographer because you don't want to get your gear in that weather. But this is the time when you can get the unique photos. You can get the photos that you won't get any other time. Get it while the action is happening, and also while there's fewer people out, you're the one that's going to get the more interesting shot. So let's go see what we can find. Finding inspiration in suburbia is not that easy, but this is a local diner, has some interesting character to it. The snow adds a little bit of interest as well. I've shot it in the fog before and the lights look really cool, so I figured I'll give it a shot. Well, sometimes it's challenging to find things to actually shoot here, but while I'm out, I walked over to the Wawa, which if you don't know about Wawa, look into it, come visit, but they have great coffee. So I went to Wawa to get a coffee. So having a hot coffee while walking around in a cold environment automatically makes things 10 times better. So my most recent podcast, I was talking about limitations in art and limitations being a positive for creativity because they put you in a box you have to find your way out of. And this is one of those boxes where I decided not to drive anywhere, so I'm limited in the distance I can go. I just am walking around a very, very suburban area, which is also not very made for walking. There aren't many footpaths and convenience stores and gas stations, and while those things can be beautiful in ways, you know, they don't immediately jump out at you as interesting. So in times like this, when the landscape and the whole atmosphere has changed, you see them in a different way. So I think that's why it's important to go out when the conditions are different, when it's foggy, when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's dark. You know, get those mundane scenes at a time when they are at their most interesting. Go out early in the morning, late at night, you know, catching the most simple thing like a gas station or a diner in morning light can give it a whole different character. Plus the empty parking lot, you know, the neon lights still glowing while the sun is just still coming up can be really interesting. And in this case, seeing the snow on the top of the diner, seeing the reflections in the road from the melted snow gave it a little more of a unique look than I'm used to here. So trying to find those images in a place that's not usually very visually interesting can be rewarding in a different way, and it makes you more creative and it makes you think about things differently. For example, right now I'm standing in a parking lot and I have this great row of little parking cement blocks behind me, and they're making this incredible pattern here with the light and the shadows and a little bit of cement sticking out. So I'm going to shoot a photo of that. The angle is important, especially when you're dealing with such minimalist photo with shadows and angles, and trying to get the angle and the height just right is a little bit of a challenge, but I think I got it. This is one of those things where you would never expect this. This is just, you know, I went out, I said in my head, I went maybe the diner, maybe the coffee shop, maybe the gas station, or a fire hydrant. Something with snow on it might look cool in the snow, and maybe we'll make this kind of mundane suburban area look more interesting in a photo. But as typically happens, all of that kind of didn't really do anything for me. But then almost back to the apartment, I stumbled across this empty parking lot that no one has driven through. So there's fresh white snow, and these little parking dividers are making this really interesting angle with the shadow on the outside of it. And it's just like that perfect shot that I never would have expected or never would have come up with in my mind. But that's what you find when you just go out. So another great reminder, just go out there, especially when conditions are unique and different. Go out and you'll see a place that might give you no inspiration any other time, and then it'll turn it into this very, very interesting image. Hope you like it. I'll put it on the screen here. Check out my Instagram and check out my podcast that I mentioned. I'll link them all below. Thanks for coming with me on this snowy walk. Hope you went out in the snow if you had it as well. Go out there and show me the images that you got this week. Thanks for watching and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.